Hey, I'm not sure how many people talked about this, but the console ports of the FNaF games are quirky, to say the least. FNaF 3 is notable in its quirkiness, so I thought I would quickly ramble about it, because this game fucked me over. I'll explain how, though, later. The actual game plays perfectly fine, and it's still fun to play, if you consider FNaF 3 fun to play, that is. The only notable thing in the gameplay is that you move from camera to camera instead of clicking any camera you want. This affects the other games a bit, but probably this one the worst of all, because of one specific camera. Camera 2, the one Bonnie's remains are at, and most importantly, the one nearest to your window. You see, a very useful strategy I discovered is when you lose track of Springtrap and suspect he is about to enter your office, you can go to Cam 2 preemptively before he is at your window and use the audio lure to stop him from coming to your window. You see, on harder nights, if he is already at your window, you can't go from one camera to this camera to draw him away from it because he runs towards your door too quickly if you flip the camera on. A lot of FNaF 3 is preempting Springtrap's movements, which maybe I can discuss in a different video, but the point is I've survived for several hours with this strategy at preemptively going to Cam 2. Incidentally, I recorded myself beating aggressive nightmare mode for footage for this video, and you can see this strategy saving my ass later in the night. In the console port, getting to this specific camera quickly is difficult. You have to either go down on your controller from Cam 4 or go down from Cam 6. For some reason, going down on Cam 5 doesn't work. Pressing down on Cam 5 does literally nothing, for no reason. Rectifying that would fix this minor issue. Now, a lot more important than that is the unbelievably unintuitive process of getting the good ending, which I will describe for you. Although, on a side note, the actual minigames themselves play perfectly fine. Now, if you check where the game tells you how to access the minigames, first it tells you to press BBX, which you have to do on Cam 8. Alright, makes sense. By the way, I'm on the Xbox port, so keep that in mind. Next, you have to go to Cam 7 and press a code into the arcade machine. The game hints at the order of the code, however, it does not tell you how to enter the code. A running theme, you'll see. Take a second to guess how you are supposed to enter the code. Alright. You hold X and then press diagonally on specifically the D-pad. Did you guess that? It's safe to say, the problem with this, as I said earlier, is that this is completely unintuitive. There's literally no way to figure out that this is how it works, that this is how you access the minigame. Did they play test this? The problem is blatant. Next, the game tells you to collect the shadow cupcakes in the camera that only belong to this night. Again, it doesn't tell you how to collect them. This time, you hold the left trigger and press X. So, even if you figured it out last time, you have to go through the same confusion again, because it's a completely different, but equally as unintuitive process to access this minigame. Next, the game tells you the code you need to enter into the office wall. Obviously, it doesn't tell you how, so you enter it by using the D-pad and pressing X. For example, pressing 5 is just pressing X, pressing 4 is left on the D-pad and X, 9 is pressing down and to the right diagonally while pressing X. I hope that made sense to you. On the final night, you hold right on the control stick and press X to click on the Shadow Bonnie figurine. Afterwards, if you did every minigame correctly, you go to Cam 3, hold right trigger and press X, and you have your good ending. What a fucking nightmare. My best advice for fixing this would be having the minigame room display the controls needed for each minigame, like it did for the first one. It might be complicated, though, so you also could just have something in the extras menu explain the steps required. I don't know. Anything would be better than no explanation at all, but I suppose that's that. Now, surprisingly, that wasn't my biggest problem with the port. This port made an oddly specific error that had me replay it 5 times. That being an achievement, the end, which is given to you for getting the bad ending, which you get for just playing through the 5 nights normally. Now, when I played this port, I figured there was no reason for me not to go for the good ending, since I thought I knew how to. Clearly I was wrong, but that's not the point. I also didn't look at the achievements yet, because I didn't have reason to believe I needed to. I was wrong again. What happened is I 100%ed the game, I beat Aggressive Nightmare Mode, and right after, then, I look at my achievements, and I still don't have this specific one. This achievement basically means you beat the game normally. In fact, I saw it described when I looked it up as just finishing your shift in the week. There's no good reason why I didn't get this achievement when I beat the game with the good ending, but because I did the good ending first, I had to reset all of my game data to play the game again without the good ending, just to get this achievement. Now, as I told you, I just beat Aggressive Nightmare Mode. I really didn't want to reset my data. I earned those stars, so I replayed the 5 nights without resetting all of my data, but the game will always give you the good ending, even if you click new game. So I wasted my time. Then I replayed it again, trying to somehow trick the game into giving me the bad ending, but nope, still got the good ending. So eventually, I accept the truth, and deleted all of my data, and played it again. I fucking finally got the bad ending, but I had to re-100% the game, so I had to replay the game again to get the good ending again, all because of this disgusting achievement. So the moral of this story: if you buy the console port, do not get the good ending on your first playthrough. Anyway, that's it. I wrote a pretty big script for a Dead Space remake review, but I guess I lost motivation. I would like to continue writing it at some point, because maybe people would be interested, and I do love the game, but I won't promise anything. My friends encouraged me, though, so I wrote some other video ideas in a Google Doc, and their channel should be linked in the description. I did this one because it's probably the most simple video to make. Regardless of that, thank you for watching.